Last week, we brought you special reports from Kahoolawe about the history of the island, its importance to ocean voyaging, the military's bombing of the land, and efforts to restore the environment. So what's next for Kahoolawe? We were able to sit down and talk with members of the Protect Kahoolawe Ohana and the Kahoolawe Island Reserve Commission to learn about what they envision for the island's future. This is the area the military first started clearing after the bombing. And if you can imagine, there are kiawe trees and invasive plants taller than this tree here.
The challenge is, if we can heal Kahoolawe, we can heal anywhere else in Hawaii.
At the helm of the healing process is the Kahoolawe Island Reserve Commission and the Protect Kahoolawe Ohana.
Kahoolawe was called upon to help slide the Navy away, you know, because he is kind of like the hay. And so after all the chanting going and actually kind of like getting that strength from him, the Navy was slid away.
In the upper portion of the island, the Kirk plans on creating a dryland forest. It's an area that only certain plant species can grow in because of how little rain falls there.
We're not creating these forests and these environments for the sake of creating a dryland forest. We are creating the homelands or the place where Native Hawaiian culture originated from so that it could reflourish again.
The Kirk says plans for a large seabird colony are also in motion, but first...
And we're also looking at eradicating rats and cats from the island.
For the past 4 years, multiple agencies have taken part in the seabird restoration project. They're still looking into the safest ways to remove the invasive species with as little harm to the island and native species. Once the final plans are set, they expect the removal process to be about 10 years. Kahoolawe is on track to become the first completely self-sustaining island in the state.
So it'll be photovoltaic powered. We've got a reverse osmosis system behind us that will get a complete revamp, which creates fresh water from the ocean water.
A working group with representatives from the Kahoolawe Island Reserve Commission, Protect Kahoolawe Ohana, and the Office of Hawaiian Affairs has set a path for Kahoolawe through 2026 that includes preserving the island's history that can be shared at an on-island learning center.
We have a unique, very inspiring, robust cultural use plan that the Edith Kanakaole Foundation had done for us. So you come to the island and you're prepared, you know, you ask for the welcoming and you start working on really understanding the elements.
To make all of these projects happen, funding is needed.
For Kirk, we run everything out here. So we make the power, we make the electricity, we make the water. We run the boat that brings all the supplies out to the island. We take care of the roads, so there's costs. We're trying to cut the cost back. We're becoming very efficient.
Funding to clear the 25% of the island that the Navy didn't clear is in limbo.
The Navy is not going to do anything unless they're told to do it, and which means usually is Congress has to direct the Navy and they got to fund it. The stars were all in alignment in 93 and 94 for Kahoolawe to come back and to get clean. We have to wait for those stars to get aligned again before we can come back and do more cleaning on Kahoolawe.
The exact plans for Kahoolawe continues to grow, but one thing is for sure.
It will never be developed. You know, it's still got unexploded ordnance that haven't been cleaned up, so there's no way that anybody can just start digging into it. So it'll be the only island that's there for the future. And for the keiki to kind of continue to kind of like experience what people have been experiencing for almost 44 years now.
You've helped to raise a lot of interest in it, and you said that you had people asking how they can volunteer, right?
Yes, Sarah, I got at least 10 messages just over this past weekend. So what we've done is put on our website, our hawaiinewsnow.com website, the links to the Protect Kahoolawe Ohana site and the Kahoolawe Island Reserve Commission.
We've seen people arriving, and I'm assuming that you arrived with a group of people?
Yes.
So what was the group like? Were they first timers? Were they?
They were first timers, and it was really neat. In fact, one of the girls is somehow related to me. I mean, such a Hawaii thing, right? But they were teachers from Maui, and they were over there learning about the land, learning about the different processes they have, and they're going to implement that in their curriculum. So they're going to take what they learned on Kahoolawe and put it into their classroom, and they're doing this with a lot of other schools too.
That's very cool. I meant to mention to you, your auntie's cousin's brother is married to my.
Get out, Dad. No way.
No. But now you were mentioning that you got off the boat onto the sand, but that's not always the case, right? I mean, sometimes you have to swim.
You have to swim if I was praying that it would be a calm ride over, because if not, we would have had to jump in the water and swim in. So I told our photographer Jared that he may need to help me to swim because I was a little
Forget the equipment.
the expensive cameras. I was like, you need to carry me in, Jared. I think
Hey, listen, guys, if you missed any of these reports, they're all posted on our website, hawaiinewsnow.com. This is the single most interesting series we've had on Sunrise in the 10 years the show has been on.
Wow.
And you know, it wouldn't have been possible to the Kahoolawe Island Reserve Commission for inviting us and just being such awesome hosts. We thank you so much. And a big shout out to Jared Apilado, our photographer. He has put in so many hours. I hope he's listening right now, but he has put in so many hours to these pieces to make it incredible. So
I
thank
think
you.
he's sleeping, actually. Wore him out. You wore him out.
I think he doesn't want to hear my voice for the next 2 months, but it's okay. We're still friends. Yeah. I'll buy him a plate lunch.
Good job, Daisy.
Also, could you get a bigger life jacket? That was like, I was like dwarfing you. I was like,
I couldn't breathe. It was like over my nose, so I was like, I think I'm suffocating. But I was safe.
yes, you
That's
were.
important.
Safety orange.
That's
Looking
Safety
good out
first.
there. Yeah.
All right, 8:29, top stories when we come back.